What's happening, people? So, tonight is everything I know about the LEGO Batman 4, or essentially the LEGO Batman reboot. And what better way to do that than play the OG LEGO Batman? Because essentially this was the start of something new back in 2008. So we've come full circle. So, for copyright reasons, I have to use a custom soundtrack for this game, so we're using Batman Returns from the Super Nintendo. Makes sense, right? And I tried to make the super chat goal. I don't know if YouTube let me do it. So there seems to be some confusion about some stuff. I did manage to track down some people to discuss things with, and I had a lot of questions. I shot rapid fire, and I also spoke with a high-profile person on Twitter who is known for doing LEGO, like, game news in general. So I found out a lot of fun stuff. And I also have a short 15-minute video going up tomorrow at noon, which goes into more detail about Batfleck and some other stuff. So, for the most part, what the new game is going to be about is they take elements of, like, the Arkham games with the combat and the detective stuff and searching for clues and some of the free-roaming elements and the combat, and then they bring back the LEGO elements that you're familiar with from, like, LEGO Batman 2, LEGO Batman. Not so much LEGO Batman 3, but more like LEGO DC supervillains. And then they have you, for the campaign, the story campaign, you have 7 characters you can play as that they've announced. And that would be Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon from Matt Reeves' The Batman, Talia al Ghul, and I think there was one more. I think I said 7. Was that 7? We had Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon, Talia, Catwoman. There you go. So that's the 7 that you'll play in the campaign. I don't know if there is a 2-player mode yet. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I did hear various things about Batmobiles. So there's going to be lots of different Batmobiles that you can play as in this, in the upcoming game. But the only Batmobiles that they've confirmed and shown so far is the Tumbler and Matt Reeves', you know, the Batman Batmobile. I've been told the Keaton-mobile is in it, but they don't have any footage to show of it yet. So, the most you'll see in the game in terms of, like, film is they're going to be heavily utilizing a lot of Nolan stuff because there was 3 Batman movies with Chris Nolan's Batman. But the films, it's not like, you know how the MCU had projects where the Batman, or excuse me, the MCU LEGO game was based after the movies, and they followed that. This game, like the new Legacy, basically takes a cue from LEGO Batman 1, which is why I'm playing it, is because LEGO Batman 1 was an all-new story that originally started out as they were going to highlight the different Batman films at the time, like the 4 Batman Burton, you know, films, even though only 2 were Burton. And then as time went on, the LEGO Batman game became its own original identity. It was inspired by nothing. A brand new original story that featured characters from the Batman universe. So essentially that's what you're getting with the brand new LEGO Batman game, which I know people are calling it LEGO Batman 4. It's a remake. It's not a continuation of the LEGO Batman games that you've played prior. It's not a continuation of the LEGO Batman, like, direct-to-video movies featuring Troy Baker and company. This is an all-new thing. But they will, this time around, based on the popularity of the different Batman films and stuff like that, they will be utilizing some elements, which is why you saw the, I don't know if you guys saw in the trailer, but you had the Catwoman from Batman Returns, and you had the Penguin from Batman Returns, but he was in the Matt Reeves universe. Like, he was in the car, but it was Danny DeVito's Penguin. Or like a combination of Colin Farrell and Danny DeVito's Penguin into one Penguin character. The Joker that you saw was Heath Ledger, but at the same time, in the trailer, they showed the Joker goons, the mimes, from 1989 Batman, as well as they showed the Batman suit from 1989, where in the stealth aspect of the game, you see Batman sneak up behind somebody and hit them with a frying pan, even though he's wearing the 89 skin. And I know people are going to be disappointed that there's not going to be any story elements for Affleck, but how I was explained, and they did it, you know, very nice, is that technically Ben Affleck's Batman did not have a solo, you know, Batman film. The Deathstroke versus Batman thing never happened. So they're not going to be, as far as I know, bringing in non-Batman characters into this Batman game. It is grounded in Batman myth and lore. So having the Justice League pop up is not really going to work. That doesn't mean that you can't get a Batman suit. There's going to be lots of Batman suits that you can both pre-order and buy and find in the game and stuff like that, that Batman can wear. So, for instance, the 1939 Batman suit is available if you go to, like, I believe register with WB Discovery or whatever, and you can get the Batman suit. They're calling them suits this time around. They're not calling it skins. So think of it like, you know how in Arkham you would get different suits and you could change them? That's essentially the same concept this time around. So it's not so much that you're playing as different variants of Batman, because Batman has a very robust moveset, like Arkham. He has batarangs and the back grapple, and he has different things that he can incorporate in the game, which is very different than previous LEGO Batman games. Like this one, for instance, Batman had different suits he could get, but each suit had different abilities. So Batman will change his suit, but his abilities are based on his Batman character, not necessarily like a Sonic Wave Batman or a Hazard Control Batman, you know, that kind of thing. And you can see, too, from the gameplay that Batman, this time around, the LEGO characters are much bigger in size because they're going with more a campaign-oriented style as opposed to the more top-down, you know, you can see Batman and Robin running around. So that's interesting. The free roam, from how I've heard it from a couple different people, is that free roam is massive. They said anywhere between, like, much bigger than LEGO Batman 2, which LEGO Batman 2's Gotham was pretty robust. It was pretty big. And also LEGO DC Supervillains had a very big environment for, you know, people to explore. I don't know how big it is. They've just told me it's big. And you'll see iconic locations from Batman films, like Shrek's department store from Batman Returns, Ace Chemicals from both the comic books and the Ace Chemicals from Batman 89. You'll also have, I'm trying to remember the other location. I think the docks from Batman Begins, because they show you in the trailer Matt Reeves' Batman actually beating up Nolan's enemies in the, whatchamacallit, in the cargo area. Even though we know that was, you know, not Robert Pattinson's Batman, the LEGO Batman is wearing the Robert Pattinson Batsuit, because like I said, there's going to be different Batsuits. We don't know how many, so don't quote me, I have no idea. I only know of Affleck, 1939, 89, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and The Batman. So that's, you know, 5 or 6 so far. I'm sure they'll have others. The game is going to be inspired by the movies, but there will be some comic book storylines. The one thing that I didn't understand, because my time was very brief with speaking with people, is Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Bane, and a few other villains you can face off against. I don't know if that means that you can play as them. It says face against them, like go against them. In LEGO Batman 1, you could play as the heroes one way, and then you could play as the villains in their own side story. I don't know if they're doing that again. I don't have that information. For the most part, what it sounds like, as I've confirmed with about 4 other people and one major LEGO publication, is that you have 7 playable heroes, and they will be upgradable, as well as they have very different, we'll say, moves than Batman. But the Bat family is going to play a role in it. It's just, you know, how it's going to work, I don't know. They should have more information as time goes on. But you will be able to drive different Batmobiles and Batcycles. So I'm assuming that the Tumbler version of the Batmobile, like when it turns into the Batcycle, you can drive as that. I don't know about some of the other Bat cycles, so they'll probably borrow from different stuff. We don't know what kind of skins or suits Nightwing, Batgirl, or Robin will have. They might not have any, but Batman will have different suits he can, wear and stuff like that. So if you have a particular Batman that you like, chances are you'll probably get to wear the skin. I'm already set with 89 and, the Nolan universe, and, the Pattinson Batman suit is growing on me, so it doesn't really bother me. I was hoping that it would go from, okay, when you're in the campaign, you're going to get introduced to different Batman suits as the story goes on. But the only things that they're showing in the trailer right now is actually Batman movie-related stuff. You haven't seen any of the original stuff yet, because we don't know how much original stuff is in there. What I like about the massive press release I have, it talks about how there's going to be, like, detective elements, where you search for clues and you're doing stuff that was not really common in the other LEGO Batman games, so that's more akin to Arkham, which is great. The combat looks fantastic. I've not had hands on the game. I won't have hands on the game. I'm not in Germany. I'm here in America, so I've just been speaking to a bunch of different people over the course of hours and trying to find out as much as I can about the game, because I make it my business to know. So... And I knew the questions that everybody was going to ask me, so I asked them. It's like, what's going on with this? Why aren't, is it like a full-blown movie thing, or are you going to do, like, original stuff? So it's a mixture of elements from the films and original stuff. But they haven't shown any of the original stuff yet. What I've been told is it will feature elements from Batman on TV, in movies, comic books, and video games. Now, when they mention video games, what they're talking about is the combat is Arkham. You can go back and you can watch the trailer again and see, Batman fighting people. It's Arkham combat. It's just been given some family-friendly tweaking, and it looks fantastic. They even added, every once in a while, there's like some POW biff and stuff like that. So I think that's what they mean by TV elements. I don't know necessarily if you're going to get a Batman, like, the animated series suit. I didn't ask them about that. I asked about Affleck, and I asked about Val Kilmer. And how I was explained is it sounds like there will be some Batman Forever elements. And since Poison Ivy is in the game, they might borrow her storyline from the movie Batman and Robin. But I don't know. They just announced Poison Ivy not long ago, I think a couple hours ago. The Ra's al Ghul most likely is going to be modeled after the Nolan version. What I did ask them, and I did not get a response, is I talked to two different people. I talked to the LEGO News people on Twitter. I believe they're called LEGO Game News. And then I spoke to a former developer of Traveler's Tales, and I said, will Joker and Bane and Penguin have variant costumes? And he said, I don't know. Because he says, I'm not there anymore. What's interesting, though, is some of this game design for this new LEGO Batman seems to harken back to an idea that Traveler's Tales had back in 2012 when The Dark Knight Rises was coming out to theaters. Is they originally wanted to follow the whole model of let's make a film based on the Nolan games. Let's make a LEGO Batman based on the Nolan trilogy and call it the Dark Knight trilogy or something like that. But Warner Brothers said no, so it never got off the cutting room floor. But some of the elements that are involved with this new Batman game seem to harken back to that failed pitched idea, which is interesting to me, because, Traveler's Tales has always had great ideas when it comes to Batman games, like LEGO Batman games. For the longest time, people forget that this Batman game, before Arkham came out a year later, many fans actually applauded the first LEGO Batman as one of the best Batman games ever made. It wasn't until Arkham Asylum came out that people were like, oh yeah, definitely Arkham. But before Arkham, we didn't really have the cream of the crop of Batman games. You had some really good, 2D Batman games like Batman on NES and Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. But for the most part, most of the Batman games were not really renowned. They weren't really well known. Case in point, Batman Vengeance on GameCube and PS2 was okay, but it didn't really get a lot of, we'll say, good reception from folks. It was alright, but it didn't win a lot of notoriety and it didn't, it did okay for its time. Mostly. It could have done better, but it is what it is. So, you know, when this game came out in 2008, it really changed a lot of fans' perspective of what could be possible with a Batman game. It really did. And then, of course, a year later, we got Arkham Asylum, which changed everything. So, my understanding is, when they're talking about this new LEGO, you know, Dark Knight Legacy game, will have elements of TV Batman and, you know, I think that the pow, biff, and sock and stuff like that, when Batman is punching people, I think that's what they mean. I have a lengthy email that I'm trying to follow up with somebody with, and in my email, which it hasn't been responded to, I asked them, is Adam West skin in the game? Like, what do you mean by TV elements? Are we going to see, like, different suits for, like, the animated series? Are we going to get a Batman animated series Batmobile? Or are you just talking about how you're combining elements of past Batman stuff? Because this is almost like a celebration game, like, that's coming out next year. So I'm just waiting to hear back, and when they'll actually respond by email, I don't know. When they do respond, I'll do a follow-up video, because the video that I recorded today mostly just talks about the press release and my thoughts on, you know, what I feel about the game and stuff like that. This stream has a little bit more details than the 15-minute video. It can't really go into that much because it was... I literally slapped that thing together like 3 hours ago. And so since then I've gotten more info, but I don't have time to go and... I'm already in the editing stages of that video, so if that video does well, I'll do a follow-up. But I think that a lot of us are going to be in for a treat. I can see a lot of people on Twitter are kind of making fun of the whole LEGO thing, which is a shame because the LEGO games are great. It doesn't mean that they're made for kids. It just means LEGO is something that a lot of people have fond memories of, regardless of their age. And once again, Traveler's Tales is going out of their way to make a fantastic Batman game, and I think that's something that needs to be applauded, you know? I don't think that there should be any, like, people being like, oh, it's just a LEGO game. It's like, why does it matter? You're getting a really cool game that has elements of the previous LEGO games, as well as a lot of, we'll say, tributes to the Arkham franchise, but done in a way that's different. I think that's something that a lot of fans should get behind and, you know, not be so dismissive because, oh, it's a LEGO game. It's like, with Warner Brothers, you have no idea when you might actually get a proper Arkham Batman game. And if Rocksteady makes it, it's probably not going to be very good anyway, you know? Because they don't really have their priorities straight right now. So, Traveler's Tales is giving you guys, like, a pretty awesome gift. So, I'm not saying you guys in general, I'm just saying Twitter in general and Blue Sky have been saying some pretty nasty stuff about, oh, it's a LEGO game. So, I just think it's kind of uncalled for, you know? But I mean, it is obviously Twitter and Blue Sky, so, you know, it's not like it's a high bar to clear, you know? Those people are kind of, something else on the internet, you know what I mean? Alright, so we need to knock him down with a Batarang, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Clayface defeated! There's also no voiceover in this, so, you know, I'm just gonna go through the actual Batman story tonight. But there shouldn't be any music because I turned it off. Just my music. Long live Lego Batman. Exactly, yeah. What? People are asking me on Twitter, especially, and on my my Facebook, what is it that you don't like about the trailer? The only thing that I took away from the trailer that I did not like is Batman's voice. I don't like his voice. If you're doing a celebration of different Batman stuff, right? I think that it's wise for you to get a voice that would work for the different variations of Batman that you'll be playing. I don't think that Robert Pattinson's Batman is a great celebration Batman to have his voice coming from several different Batman suits. I don't like that. I have nothing against Robert Pattinson. I thought he was great in The Batman. But if I was making a celebration game that is highlighting 86 years of Batman, I would not get someone that sounds like Robert Pattinson. And I understand he's the current film Batman, but I think that was a poor decision. I don't know why they just didn't get Troy Baker exactly, because Troy Baker has a lot of range. He can play a lot of different Batmen. He has played a lot of different Batman. Troy Baker has been in a lot of Batman projects, not as many as Kevin Conroy, mind you. But he's been in a lot of different Batman-related projects. So to me, it was strange to see that they replaced him, but also that they used someone that has a very not good Batman voice. So that's my only problem with the game so far. Like, the Batman voice is going to take some getting used to. Troy Baker was Joker in Origins. He was Batman in Lego Batman 2 through Lego Batman 3, Lego Batman Dimensions. He appeared in a bunch of other Lego Batman projects. He was the voice of Lego Batman in the direct-to-video movies. Troy Baker played Lego Batman for about 11 years. So when Lego Batman was coming back, I thought, oh man, it's going to be great to see, you know, Troy Baker and all this other stuff. And then I hear Robert Pattinson, a guy doing a parody of his voice, and it's like, oh no. That was it. That was the only time in the trailer I was just like, I don't like this. Everything else I was like, yes! But the voice I don't like. And it's nothing against the actor. I don't think Pattinson has a good Batman voice, because he hasn't worked on it yet. Just like people made fun of Bale's Batman, you know, because he went from kind of like a Michael Keaton to this kind of voice. He got made fun of a lot for sounding like this. So, Robert still he has time to improve his Batman voice to make him more iconic. Right now, he just kind of has like this whispery emo voice, which, not good. So, and I could spend time talking about like what would have been, and it's, you know, that's it. Like, everybody was like, that's the only problem you have with it? It's like, yeah, that's the only issue I have. I don't mind if it's a campaign-focused game that you play as 7 different characters. I'm really excited about Nightwing being in it, and Robin. I don't know which Robin it's going to be. Tim Drake's not really popular anymore, so it'll probably be Damian. The reason why I say it's probably going to be Damian is the fact that Talia al Ghul is in it. Talia is Damian's mom. And the fact that she doesn't have a villainess role in the game, since she's a playable hero, she's listed as a playable hero, most likely the Robin would be Damian. That's what I would think. I think you have a couple different Robins, though. Since they're going to do elements from supposedly Batman Forever, but don't quote me on that. That was kind of a tongue-in-cheek response that I got. Because, you know, what happened with Val Kilmer and Schumacher being gone, and it's also the 30th anniversary, I believe it's the 30th anniversary of Batman Forever. So, yeah. Next year will be the 31st anniversary of Batman Forever. So, most likely you'll have like a teenage Dick Grayson Robin that will later become Nightwing in the story. It's going to be an episodic story-based thing. So it's going to start with his origin, which is going to be Nolan, Batman Begins. And then his Joker stuff is going to combine elements of Nicholson with Heath Ledger. But I don't think you'll see... I don't think you'll have to worry about seeing Jared Leto's Joker. I don't believe so. I didn't ask that question, though. You have to remember that it was a very fast thing. I talked with 6 people. I talked with some influencers who are there in Germany. And I spoke to some LEGO channels. I spoke to an ex-Traveler's Tale employee who was there when the game was being worked on. And I spoke to one other person that wishes to be anonymous. So I didn't have a lot of time, and I'm sure these guys are very, very busy, right? So not every single one of my questions was answered. And not every single one of my questions was answered from, you know, one individual. They were all done by a slew of people that I was back and forth with on Twitter DMs and on Facebook and, what's the name? LinkedIn. Lincoln? I don't know. So, but I feel like I got a pretty good understanding of what's happening. And I like what I saw on their website. They actually show you more gameplay, but it's like broken down in a GIF format. So like, you can see different enemy types. Like there's big giant Hulk-like characters that have different type of stuff. I don't know if Maxwell Shrek is going to be in the game or just his department store, but his department store is in the game. I did not really like the Lego, it's hard for me. Lego Skywalker was an okay game, but it had a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I don't know if I'm comfortable talking about. Because, like, a lot of people that I knew that was at Traveler's Tales, they left during the time that that game was being worked on, before they started really doing key development for the Lego Batman remake was in the development stages. Like, it was in the, like, the concept art and the, I wouldn't say the storyboarding, but they had their idea pretty much set, what they wanted to do for the remake. But most of the people I knew at Traveler's Tales that were there from the original Lego Batman, going back to 2008, they all left conveniently right around the time that Lego Star Wars, the final Lego Star Wars game, was, you know, wrapping up. And there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes between Disney and Traveler's Tales that was not good. And, you know, a lot of them left Traveler's Tales, like, I wouldn't say under bad terms, but they didn't like the partner that they were working with. So this Lego Batman game goes back to the roots of Lego. So you'll see elements of like what made Lego Batman the first game so unique. So it's its own thing. But the reason why I don't talk about the Lego Star Wars thing is because a lot of people were basically not treated well by Disney and, you know, stuff like that. So it's not something that I look back as a good thing, because most of the former Traveler's Tales people that I know, they keep belly aching about it. Like, you know, if it wasn't for this game, we would have made this, we would have done that, we would have gotten our Crisis game out, all this stuff. The time of that Lego Star Wars game, which was impressive, it took away their resources from other projects they wanted to do, because the Lego people, the Traveler's Tales guys, if you remember, they used to release like 2 Lego games a year. They had lots of Lego games that would come out. The Lego Star Wars game prevented them from working on other projects. Like, all their resources had to go into Lego Star Wars. And so, like, it actually did not help the company as much, because they're not a company that's used to putting all their eggs in one basket. And even though the game sold really well, it put a lot of other projects on hold that, you know, would have worked out really well, especially during the pandemic. I actually personally spoke to Traveler's Tales back in the day about doing a Lego collection for Switch about Lego Batman 1 through 3 on Switch. And they were open to the idea originally, but it never happened. But I did talk to them about it, because I was like, this is a great opportunity. Everybody's home. People are looking for Lego games to play. You've got the 10-year anniversary of the original Lego game not too far behind you. And you also have the 10-year anniversary of Lego Batman 2. The time is right for that kind of stuff. It'd be pretty easy for you guys to do that. And, you know, they were open to lots of things. It feels like both Warner Brothers and other companies that they were working with were just not open to doing the things that Traveler's Tales wanted to do. So I'm very happy that they got their Batman reboot off the ground. And I'm curious to see, like, what people either went back to Traveler's Tales or, like, who's there and what's going on. But, you know, everybody's at Gamescom right now, so you have to understand it's going to take me weeks to get in touch with people again. But I will be, because I want to hear what a lot of people have to say, like, off the record about stuff. You know, things that I can't publish. Because that, to me, is fascinating. I love that kind of stuff. Alright, so Robin, you need your suit. But like many of you guys, I'm a fan of the Lego stuff. especially the Lego Batman stuff. So I really want to see where they go with this. And I really want to find out what the rest of my questions get answered. Like, I feel like a kid in the candy store. I haven't had an E3 feeling in a while, because E3 has been long gone, right? But I just have this, like, I don't know, really happy sensation of, like, what it was like to cover E3 years ago and attend E3. And no offense, but most of the stuff they showed at Gamescom, I'm not really excited about. I'll cover it, but it doesn't make me, like, kind of like, ooh, wow, you know. The Lego Batman stuff has, like, my brain firing on all cylinders. Like, I've asked a lot of really cool questions, and all kinds of stuff, so. I'm hoping it's not that I'm questioning it's not going to be good. I just hope it sells well. I want it to do better than Lego Star Wars. Because Lego Star Wars is a very toxic thing right now, like the Star Wars in general. And Batman is something that unites all Batman fans. So, it would just... We haven't really... With exception to Batman and Robin, we have not really had a bad film Batman. We've had one. But every other Batman that's been on film has been fantastic. And whether you didn't like Affleck or not, you can't argue that that guy felt like Batman. He was silent. He did, like, a lot of stuff from the Arkham games. You know, he felt like Batman. It's just he was so criminally underused that we never really got to see a proper solo entry of that Batman. Which I think will be one of my biggest regrets as a Batman fan, is we never saw that actually come to fruition. But every other, like, film Batman has been fantastic. So, with exception of Clooney, but we do not speak of Clooney. I went back and I watched Batman Forever again this year, in honor of its 30th anniversary. And Batman Forever is still a fun movie. I think that Val Kilmer did a great job as Batman, and I think that fans need to give that Schumacher Batman another look, because Val was doing some pretty great things, and he inherited the role from Keaton, and he ran with it. He did his own thing, and it worked. We do not talk of George Clooney. It's okay if we've only had one bad film Batman. One. But Affleck, I liked Affleck a lot. I wanted to see more of his Batman, and, you know, whoever they get to replace him in the DCEU, it'll never be good enough for me, probably, because, I don't know, he was a really cool Batman. I wanted to see more of him. When we were in the theaters for BVS, and they showed a sequence where there's this guy on camera, it's a blink and you miss it moment, but you see Batman come down out of the floor grate above him and just, like, scoop him up and take him away like a takedown in Arkham. I was, like, screaming in the theater, like, yes! You know, I was so excited. So, yeah, there were a lot of elements about Affleck's Batman that I liked, and I really wanted to see those play out, because he gave us bits and pieces of his Batman in the different appearances that he had. Suicide Squad, Justice League, BVS, things like that. And if you, like, paste together all the different Batman, like, things that he did, he was a great Batman. And the most important thing I like about his Batman is he plays it like Keaton. Keaton was a quiet Batman. If you go back and you watch the Keaton films, even in the Flash movie, he doesn't talk very much. That's how Batman is supposed to be. He has inner monologues. He doesn't talk that much. He bounces dialogue off Robin every once in a while, but he's not a character that's supposed to be super chatty with himself, right? So, I like that Affleck didn't talk much. He used his body movements, and he used the darkness and stuff like that to convey a scene. That was excellent. You know? When he did talk, he said a stupid one-liner that they made him say that, you know, didn't work for me. Like, when Keaton would do a delivery for a one-liner, it made sense in the context of the scene. Like, Keaton breaks character in Batman Returns when he's about to slam into the side of a wall because Penguin has taken over the Batmobile. And so Keaton shows his human side, like, okay, now I'm a little worried because he's frantically trying to press the button to make the Batmobile break apart. so that he can survive and not, you know, explode into the side of a brick wall. With Affleck's Batman, we got him to do a little bit of that, but not as much. It felt like he was just there to deliver a corny one-liner. So we didn't really get to see too much of the human-esque side of him, except for when Doomsday is about to blow him up. You know, I think he cusses or something like that, and he tries to, and he hides his, he puts his hands in front of his face like that's gonna do anything. You know, that was a very human moment for him. But for the most part, he doesn't speak very much, which is great. Any Arkham story elements? That was one of the questions I asked. I didn't get a response. Because the person who was there isn't there anymore. So I know they wanted to bring in the Arkham combat. Whether we're going to see Arkham storytelling, I don't know. From how I understand it, and I could be wrong because this is not official information yet, but I'm not going to get in trouble for it because these are former people that, you know, aren't there anymore, so people can just say, you know, whatever. But the Poison Ivy element will borrow from the Batman and Robin movie. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't know if it's true. So it's pure speculation. The Bane element of the storytelling will be Nolan. The Penguin element will be a combination of Batman Returns and the Batman. But it'll be the same Penguin model, I think. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten confirmation. The Joker stuff, which you will face the Joker, will have elements of Batman 89, with his thugs being from Batman 89, and taking place in Ace Chemicals or whatever. But it will be the Heath Ledger Joker because he's a more recognizable Joker than Jack Nicholson. But my question to them was, will there be skins or different suits that Penguin and Joker can wear so they look more like their Burton counterparts instead of their, you know, whatever. Like they're more modern ones, like Heath Ledger and stuff like that. I did not get a response on that question, so I don't know. I don't know how many Batmobiles are going to be in the game. I got them to say the Keaton-mobile, and I got them to, you know, clarify that there will be other Batmobiles, but they didn't tell me what Batmobile. So, and I really, really pestered them about the Keaton thing, because it was like, you're showing the Keaton suit, you're showing the Burton stuff, you gotta throw me a bone here. Like, what's going on? Like, how many Batmobiles are we talking? Because the press release just says Batmobiles. That could only be two, like Matt Reeves and the other one. And the response was Keaton. And it was like, what other Batmobiles? They said, we gave you Keaton. So, I don't know what other one. But I pressed them. I did what's known as a hard press. I was very polite. But I am relentless. You have to understand that. When it comes to Batman, I don't mess. I have to know. Especially when it comes to my favorite film, Batman, which is the one I grew up with, which is 89. If you have the 89 suit, and you've got 89 elements, you have to have the Keaton-mobile. You cannot shy away from that. You can't just have him running around in the Tumbler. One of the most loved Batmobiles in existence is the Keaton-mobile. You can't make a Lego game without it, especially if you're going to have other movie Batman. So, that's just my, 2 cents. I don't know when you'll get an official, picture of the Keaton-mobile. I have no idea. I don't know if it's in the story or what. I have no idea. So it could be like a skin. You know, like how in the Arkham games you can swap out skins for your Batmobile? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But they don't like you using the term skin because they're suits. Like the Batman suits, just like Arkham, they're not skins. They're suits. You put on different suits. So... But, I have 2 massive emails that are filled with paragraphs of things that I asked. When they respond to it, and the things that I'm allowed to tell you guys, then I will do a follow-up video to tomorrow's noon video. Going into more details about, here's what you can expect from combat. Here's what you can expect from different suits. Are you going to be getting DLC? What's the focus? The only thing that I need to know that I did not even think of asking this question in depthly is what is the multiplayer aspect of the game? Can you play 2 players like you could in the previous Lego games, or is it a single player campaign like Arkham? I don't know. I can't, because I haven't heard it from the official WB people. I've heard it from Lego channels and Lego influencers that there's multiplayer. So if you want to go after those people for false information, feel free. But I mean, LEGO channels make it their business to know about that kind of stuff. But I don't have that information from like a credible source. It's just other influencers. So I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe in the coming days they'll have more information about that. But you know, influencers were told that there is multiplayer, but no online. So, but that's all I have on that. You can't have a Bat Family game and just have it be a single player thing. Although you could. And since the character models are much, much bigger this time around, like with the camera taking place behind the characters in a sense, like kind of like Arkham, it would make sense that it wouldn't really be as much of a tag team element as the previous LEGO game. Guys completed the super chat goal. Thank you. Just because the super chat goal is complete, you guys can keep super chatting if you want to. Our Gamescom coverage, like, all got copyrighted. So even though we got a lot of views, we didn't make any money on our coverage of any Gamescom stuff, except for, I don't even think Kirby got 1,000 views, so we didn't get paid for that either. And I didn't sleep to do the Kirby thing. But I'll do my best to answer your questions while I play this game badly. And again, custom soundtrack is used for the stream because copyright. The Batman Returns soundtrack from the Super Nintendo is not copyrighted because it's not a full-blown use of Danny Elfman's Batman music. It's an arrangement. Arrangement/remix. So they can't be like, oh, okay, this is you're actually using Burton's music. No, I'm not. I'm not. And I think it works for the original LEGO Batman, because did you guys know the original LEGO Batman game just uses 9 songs the entire game from Batman 89? Both LEGO Batman 2 and LEGO Batman 1 just use Danny Elfman's Batman music. The whole game. The Vicky Vale theme, the Batcave, everything. Like, it's kind of annoying, but that's what they did. And then LEGO Batman 2, they introduced a little bit of original music, but not a lot. I also ripped this straight from my Super Nintendo, so if you hear skipping in the music, it's not a problem with the stream. It has to do with the quality of the MP3. So sometimes the music will skip. Because I recorded this soundtrack like 20 years ago. I ripped it straight from my Super Nintendo. And yes, games used to skip back in the day. We didn't have frame rates. I don't know what they called it. This is the same Batman Returns soundtrack I used for my different Batman Returns reviews that I did on my O1 channel. But I apologize for the skippy music. It's just, it has to do with the quality of the recording back then. And I'm not going to sit through... The soundtrack is an hour long, so I'm not going to sit through and redo the soundtrack. You know what I mean? There's no reason. I don't have that kind of time to do that again. Oh snap, I forgot how to beat you. Give me a second. I have to build something, don't I? I have to build something. What do I have to do? It's been so long. Oh, Robin. No! Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. I need to go up there and do that thing. Okay, leave me alone. Leave me alone, leave me alone! How do we... So I can't go up there yet? Okay, that one's frozen over there. I can walk on this one. Or no, I can't. Yeah, see, you definitely hear the skipping now that I told you about it, don't you? Ah! I can't do anything about the skipping. But now you're consciously aware of it. Now I'm consciously aware of it. all of it skips. Some of it does. But yeah, that's all I know. The rest we have to wait and hear what people write back and stuff like that. But I think that's a good amount of stuff. I do have the press release that I could look at extensively whenever I want to, but it's just like the one from Warner Brothers Discovery. It's pretty big. I'm basically writing an outline to do a proper video on the official Warner Discovery thing, which is it's a pretty big press release. It has no pictures, it just has lots of written information. But I would have to pause the stream to look at it because it's just a jumbled word mess. That's why I'm working on an outline. Because with an outline, then you can take all the information and, you know, make a simplified thing about it. So that's the Red Triangle Circus Gang. That's happening right now. I believe it's the train level. How much left of the soundtrack do we have? Because I have another soundtrack I want to play during this. It's the Adventures of Batman and Robin soundtrack from the Super Nintendo. Did you freeze this stuff up here yet? No. Okay, one person gets frozen and then you beat them up. Aha! Run away, Freeze. I don't know if Mr. Freeze is in the game, so don't ask me, I don't know. I'm assuming because they're doing Batman and Robin and probably with Ivy. See, here's the thing. If you're doing a lot of the principal storytelling on the movies, if you're doing something based on, saying you're doing, you know, elements from the TV show, they should have signature story elements based on Batman the Animated Series. Like the Poison Ivy, any of the Poison Ivy episodes would be better than Batman and Robin. Like, I do not want Batman and Robin in this game. Like, I know it happened, but I do not personally want Batman and Robin. I would prefer that you do Nolan, you do Batman Forever, if that's true. You know, you do the Burton stuff, and you would have, like, select episodes of Batman the Animated Series getting a highlight. Like, and I'm just speaking, you know, subjective. I don't know if they're doing this or not, so if this ends up being true, I'm just really good at my job. But if I was one of the writers, right? And they were like, okay, we want you to take the best elements of this show and make a couple story levels. It'd be like, all right, Mr. Freeze will be based on Heart of Ice. Poison Ivy will be based on Pretty Poison. Boom. That way I can use I could use Aaron Eckhart model for Two-Face and just have that stuff done by the animated series. And I would also want the Mr. Freeze stuff. Like, that's both of those would be great. Fully voice acted, that'd be amazing. That's how I would utilize the animated series for the TV section. And if you were doing the Adam West thing, I would just have them do like a couple episodes based on the 66 movie, to some regard. You know, have Catwoman, Joker, Penguin, and the Riddler team up, but have them in not their 60s outfits, have them in their modern ones. So you'd have, like, you know, weird, creepy masked Riddler. Because, like I said, I don't know if the characters, like the villains, are going to have different suits based on the era that they come from, like Batman does. We don't even know if the villains are going to be playable at all. Nobody knows. Right now, they teased the game, they showed it, they announced it to the world, and they have a website that they have a little bit of information, and they have a very wordy press release that you have to take a magnifying glass and comb through everything. That's it. And so most YouTubers, what they're going to do is they're going to take the press release from Warner Discovery, and they'll take the website, which is the LegoBatman.com website, I believe, and they'll piece together stuff like that. And then people lucky enough to go to Gamescom, they'll have their, you know, point of view based on... I don't know if the game is playable at Gamescom. I don't know. But I know WB or Warner Discovery is at Gamescom. So maybe they have a Lego Batman booth. I don't know. That wasn't really... As someone who's not at the conference, I don't really care about asking about those type of questions, you know? I just want to know stuff that I'm interested in, like what's going on with Batfleck, because Twitter's all like, oh, it just shows that DC hates Batfleck. It's like, no. It shows that Batfleck didn't have a solo movie. Because they're celebrating all the Batman films. Films, TV, and comics and video games. With the new Lego Batman. But... as much as I would love... I told them this in one of my emails. I was like, if you are going to do DLC and you're using Arkham Combat, it would be amazing if we, the fans, got a DLC story of Ben Affleck's Batman in the warehouse, rescuing Martha. He doesn't have to interact with Superman. He just starts the level in the warehouse and just let players go to town with the new mechanics of the game and just let people relive the warehouse sequence as a DLC story in Dark Knight Legacy, I said. That would drive fans crazy, and it would also put to bed any rumors that people have that, you know, WB doesn't like Ben Affleck's Batman. That would be awesome. Yeah, if there's demos at Gamescom, I won't be there, but I'll be able to rip gameplay. I can get B-roll footage from the game if that's true. I want to go to the Batcave, because I can. What about Batman Beyond? I don't know. Like I said, the only info that you guys have right now, the only official info that they've released, is there is a special Batman suit that you can get if you reserve, or not reserve, what do you do with it? If you register with WB.com, WB Games account, you can get to wear in the game the 1939 Batman suit. They have only shown in the trailer the Batman 89 suit, the Batman Begins suit, the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises suit, and the Batman suit. So, those are the only ones that you have seen. The ones that they've talked about casually is Ben Affleck's Batman suit, and I believe, I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I think it was Val Kilmer's Sonar suit. And that's it. Like, they haven't mentioned anything else. They've mentioned comic book Batman suits in the game, but they haven't told anybody what those suits are. Are they going to be Jim Lee? Are they going to be inspired by Batman Absolute? Like, what's going on? Like, we don't know. Just like how the Batman game was, like the 2009 Arkham game was a celebration game. This Lego game is a celebration of 86 years of Batman. So it has elements from the TV show, or TV shows, they say, from the films. It really heavily borrows from the films. But it takes elements from the films. Films, TV, comics, and video games. My one email with this one person is an Arkham person who's at the event. And I asked him to... he's a friend of mine. He's not one of the people I don't like. It's someone who is a friend of mine who's at the event. I asked him to ask WB for me, or Traveler's Tales, if there will be, like, an Arkham story, or if the only thing that they're talking about Arkham elements is the combat. So that's my question to a longtime friend of mine who is a grandfather of the Arkham community like me. And he's old. He's not some, like, 20-year-old person. He's old like me. He's an old-timer. What is happening to the audio? It's a, I ripped this audio from the Super Nintendo, like, many, many years ago. So this is my Super Nintendo soundtrack of Batman Returns. Sometimes the MP3 would skip when it would record it. There's not much I can do about that. It's gonna happen. I think it happens with the Super Nintendo recording of Batman and Robin as well. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what comic book Batman suits are gonna be in the game. Like, more YouTubers will be talking about information, and, like, they'll get hands-on, and then you can, you know, see what they have to say, but... the most important stuff I wanted to find out about was if Affleck was a suit, and if, like, Val Kilmer would be a suit. And I brought up, you know, you showed all these movie suits, but you didn't show these other Batman films, so what's going on? So... But I don't know if Kilmer has a suit or not. They said probably, but Affleck, as far as I know, he does have a suit. They're just not advertising it yet. Because probably the reason why they don't want to advertise it is he doesn't have a story. There is no story level, as far as I know. They could be teasing it, but you know how Batman 89 and Robert Pattinson has the Batmobile chase, and Nolan Batman is going to have a lot of movie-style levels in the game. As far as I know, Affleck does not have any story-related stuff. Maybe they weren't even thinking about the warehouse scene as something, but I still think it would work as DLC if they wanted to. And the reasoning that I got, again, is it has to do with Affleck did not have a solo Batman film. He had a Batman movie where he starred alongside Superman. And the only scene that he had really solo that was very Batman-esque was the warehouse scene, which I would have put that in the game, personally. Warehouse scene is peak. Warehouse scene gave us a taste of what Ben Affleck's Batman, like his solo film, would have been like. Oh well. It is what it is. The thing you have to understand as a Warner Brothers fan is you have to get used to disappointment, because while Warner Brothers has moments of greatness, they fail more than they succeed. When they succeed, it's amazing, like this new Lego Batman game. But when they fail, it's just years of strife and disappointment. What could have been? Putting the Arkham games on the back burner for 9 years. Putting the Lego Batman games on the back burner for 11 years. Technically. Well, I mean, it did come out in 2018, so... But... not talking about the existence of a Lego Batman game for a long time is concerning, because they could have given us heads up years ago that there was a new Lego Batman game. Like, all they would have had to say, because the game's been in development since, like, 2022. They would have just had to tell us in 2023 or something like that, hey, we're rebooting Batman for Lego. Look forward to it, or something. But they didn't tell anybody. Now, some of that has to do with the fact that in 2023, if I remember this correctly, Warner Brothers Discovery, you know, merged with Discovery. So WB merged with Discovery, Warner Media. So that could have been a contributing factor. Usually when there's a merger, everything gets, like, all messed up. People get their wires crossed, you know, projects that have been in development for, like, film or video games or whatever, they just kind of either disappear, they get canceled, or people forget about them. And, you know, it's hard to get information about, does this project still exist, all this other stuff. Or it could have been that Zaslav just told Warner Brothers to get off their butts and start making Lego games again. I don't know. There's also the factor of the Lego license moved over to another company for a while, so I don't know what's going on with that. As far as I know, 2K Games still has the Lego license, so how Traveler's Tales was able to do it, maybe because it's a Batman game? I don't know. I don't have any of that info, so I can't tell you. I'm just as curious as the rest of you guys. Dark Knight joke number 2. Who's Batman's chiropractor? Okay. The answer be Bane. Because he gave Batman a break? Is that where you're going with this? Alright, so you guys know where the, what part of the game is this music from? Like, what scene in Batman Returns, the video game, is this, music from? You guys remember? I can tell you. That is the Catwoman boss battle music. Dun, 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 dun. It's got kind of like a whimsical cat style to it. I guess I'm curious to know who the Robin is in the game. Like I said, I would lean toward probably Damian, because Talia's in the game. Talia is confirmed in the game. There are 3 girl characters you can play as: Talia, Batgirl, and Catwoman. Catwoman is modeled after her most iconic version of Catwoman, which is Batman Returns. Batman Returns is still, like, if you did a poll of who is the most popular Catwoman, you would get Michelle Pfeiffer. It is what it is. Like, Michelle Pfeiffer has cemented herself. Even more than Julie Neymar and some of the other Catwoman. Like, Michelle Pfeiffer is just seen as Catwoman. Because she did such a great job in Batman Returns. She took a character that was, you know, pretty hokey, from the 60s, and made her, like, this, like, really interesting version of Catwoman. And her costume is really cool, too. Whoops. No, I don't want to be Robin in the bike. Listen to that nonsense. You can't wait to compare Lego Batman to Arkham Batman? It's going to be a fun thing to compare to, isn't it? Like, once I go to the Batcave, I can read you... I have a synopsis about the combat in the upcoming game. Like, from the Warner Brothers Discovery press release. It talks in depth about what you can do in combat. I'm pretty sure this is a press release that they're just, like, throwing around at Gamescom, but it's official. It says from... Like, the funny thing is, even though I'm blacklisted by their influencer program because of that one douchebag, excuse me, I still am on WB's press release. Like, I still get press releases from, like, Warner about movies, video games, films, and stuff like that, like, as an official member of the U.S. press. I just don't have any influencer, like, you know, stuff. Yeah, one guy. But, so I have an in-depth, like, press thing on what they sent out from Warner Discovery. And like I said, it's pretty long. No pictures. But I will always harbor resentment to the people that got me kicked out of the influencer program when I essentially started it. It's thanks to me and Arkham Videos that there was even an Arkham community in the first place. And the fact that I got kicked out of it for cancel culture, I will always be petty about that. I guess as long as I live, I will hold resentment. Like, just telling you. And I think I have a right to, too. Because if it wasn't for my coverage and all this other stuff, there would have been no community to begin with. Along with our community. Like, we created it. Everybody that came after us was after us. Years after us. How'd I get kicked out? I defended my wife online and put a little weasel in his place. And it looked like I was bullying a teenager. Dude said something bad about my wife, and I went off on him on Twitter like years ago. And I got back to WB. And the kid was underage at the time, so. But he said some very uncouth things. And I found out about it, and I confronted him, basically. And then it got back to Warner Brothers. And I was a 30-year-old guy at the time, so. And he was underage, I believe. Yeah, he was a minor. I don't like people that spread lies about my wife. It makes me angry. Because my wife is very precious to me, so I don't appreciate people, you know, making up things because she ignored your comment on a video or something like that. It was completely unfounded. And I've never gotten a public apology, and neither has Andrew. So. A lot of rage festering inside me. As well as, you know, there was a lot of stuff that happened that messed up my career as a Batman content creator. So I have a lot of resentment. I hate very few people, but I hate that guy. Hi, American Tiger. How you doing? But yeah, I would have been real force for good all these years if I was still part of that influencer thing for Batman stuff. I'd have a lot more things that I can do. I can't really do a lot as an outsider. I just know people and I can ask them questions and go from there. But I can't actually go to events or any of that stuff. Yeah. But I mean, you know, it was a long time ago. It was, what was it, 2015? Something like that? What's funny is, what I like about Traveler's Tales is even though I got blacklisted by WB, Traveler's Tales kept me in their content creator program for TP Games until the Star Wars game came out. Like, after the Star Wars game came out, like, I haven't heard from their influencer person in a long time. I don't even know if they're still there. From what I've heard, I believe their influencer program is now handled by WB, which means I won't get early access to the new LEGO game. I won't get gameplay of it. I'll have to go through other channels, or channels. It'd be other sources to get B-roll footage and other things like that. So it's gonna be a pain, but, you know, I just have to do things differently. I just don't like jumping through hoops, that's all. I don't mind jumping through hoops for Batman. I'm going to read off my press release that I have so we can talk about the gameplay, a little bit more about the combat, I mean. But I have to read it off my phone because my computer monitor is so far away. Villain music plays when I'm talking about a villain. Haha! Interesting. And part of the video was blocked for what? Gamescom? Okay, Lego Batman 4 press release. This is so wordy, man. Thrilled to announce blah 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 blah. Director Jim Lee, President, Publisher, Chief Creative Officer, CEO, Batman game fans instantly connect with, blah 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 blah. Okay, so it says the adventure begins with the origins of Batman as a young Bruce Wayne trains with the League of Shadows. This is all official, by the way. It's Warner Discovery, our brand's newsletter thingy. Bruce Wayne trains with the League of Shadows, and throughout the story-led campaign, players will build family of allies with well-known characters including Jim Gordon, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Talia al Ghul. See, this is why I think Robin is going to be Damian. Nightwing, of course, is going to be Dick Grayson. To help confront the ever-growing threat from various rogues of the DC villains facing the likes of the Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Bane, and many more. With a dynamic new LEGO Batman combat system that encapsulates the Cape Crusader's distinctive fighting style, every hit packs a punch, with fluid attack chains, counters, and over-the-top takedowns. There's Arkham, right there. See? Right there. That's Arkham. Right there. That's very different than the combat you've seen in LEGO Batman, isn't it? Counters, over-the-top takedowns, attack chains, fluid combat. That's Arkham. So this is what I was talking about when I was speaking to somebody, formerly of TT. When you say, like, this combat stuff, are you talking about, like, that is what we're getting from the Arkham games? Is the fluidity of the combat? Or are we getting a story that's based on, you know, Arkham that's going to be, you know, tributed in this game? Like, what do you mean? But that right there, that's your confirmation from this press release. Combat in this game will be Arkham. Distinctive fighting style for Batman. Every hit packs a punch with fluid combat, chains, counters, over-the-top takedowns. Whether playing as Batman or solo in two-player local cooperative mode. There you go. Players can use iconic bat gadgets such as batarangs to distract and stun enemies. So, like in Arkham, you can throw the batarang, the enemy will go investigate, and then you can take them down. Yeah, hearts need to be shown. Like, you guys need to be smashing that heart stuff. This is official information that I'm reading to you right now. This is a Warner Brothers Discovery press release. Only U.S. press gets this. I'm U.S. press. Okay? I gotta use my glasses again. Cooperative mode. Players can use iconic bat gadgets such as batarangs to distract and stun enemies. Batclaw to reel them in. Doesn't say disarm. Partner characters have their own signature gear, including Jim Gordon's foam sprayer, Robin's line launcher, Catwoman's whip, providing a variety of options to approach every enemy encounter and boss battle. So there will be boss battles. For those of you looking for a tougher LEGO playthrough, LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight goes beyond the familiar LEGO game experiences that we're known for in the past. This new Cape Crusader has enhanced difficulty setting and an even more challenging Dark Knight difficulty. Did you hear that? This new LEGO game is going to have difficulty levels, including a, basically, I Am the Night mode. You heard it here first. This game takes place against the backdrop of Gotham City in an open-world LEGO playground full of crimes. Puzzles for you to solve, rewards to collect, and surprises to discover around every corner of Gotham, down to every alleyway and on top of every rooftop. Players can grapple, glide, or drive through the environment, zipping from building to building with Batman's iconic grapple launcher, soaring over the city with his glider, or cruising around in style with a range of Batmobiles from iconic films. Plus, Batcycles. The Batcave can also be customized to display vehicles, trophies, and collectibles, plus an assortment of wearable bat suits for you to change and go back into Gotham. Sound familiar? Players can unlock the Golden Age Bat-inspired suit from Detective Comics 1939 by signing up for the WB Games account located here. All assets can be found on Warner Brothers' website, blah, 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 blah. We hope you are looking forward to the newest incarnation of LEGO Batman when it releases in 2026. Yours truly, WB Warner Discovery. About Warner Brothers games, blah, 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 blah. There you go. So that's the press release I have. There you go. See? I told you I'm good for it. I may not be an official influencer, but I still know a lot of stuff. So even in this press release, because you have to remember, they're sending this out to, like, United States press to tell them, we know you're familiar with our LEGO games, but this is not going to be like the LEGO games you played before. Like, this is a completely new thing. Oh, I guess that was the end of that. That was the end of that. That soundtrack's over. Sorry about that. Now we have the other soundtrack. Let's see. Is there anything else of interest? Usually with press releases, just so you know, like if you get a brand press release, They tell you the names of the people involved. Like, this is the president and CEO of, you know, streaming and games at Warner Discovery or whatever. So they give you a introduction to the people that are working on the game, and then they go into more of us. All of us at Traveler's Tales are incredibly proud to reveal Lego Batman Legacy. Blah, 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 blah. Jonathan Smith, strategic director, head of game, blah, 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 blah. New players will take on Bruce Wayne's epic journey to become the legendary hero of Gotham City, incorporating iconic moments from across Batman's history with our special LEGO twist. Our all-new crime-fighting combat features are amazing, fun, and take LEGO gameplay to an entirely new level it's never been to before. Whether he's the wrathful Dark Knight, the brilliant detective, or the unlikely father of the Bat Fam, Batman has constantly evolved, shaped by the world around him, while remaining a timeless symbol, said Jim Lee, president. So now they're getting into more people. This game brings together nearly every facet of his 86-year legacy, letting you experience a full range of what makes Batman so iconic. Built with the incredible care and creativity and deep respect of the Batman mythos from Traveler's Tales. This Batman game will have fans instantly connect with it, says Senior President at Global Head of Game, LEGO Group. Our partners at Warner Brothers, blah, 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 have really outdone themselves this time and deliver a Batman game that delivers style, intensity, and authenticity of Gotham City's greatest hero, infused with the family-friendly fun of the LEGO brand, which we are proud to partner with blah, 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 blah. And then that's all you have. So it gives a little bit of information, but for the most part, this is just kind of like, hey, these are the people responsible. This is what you can expect. Sign up for our press release so you can get more information. Download these assets, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for being a valued member of our press, blah, 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 blah. That's the kind of stuff I get. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't know why they haven't re-released the... I talked to Traveler's Tale back during the pandemic about them doing a Batman collection. They thought about it, but it didn't get approved by Warner Brothers. You have to remember that Traveler's Tales, they're just a small cog in the wheel of, like, you know, Warner Brothers' own video game companies. They can come up with ideas, but then they have to go talk to the parent company. And the parent company, Warner Brothers, said, no, we're not doing a collection. Which was stupid. And I'll tell you the reason why it was stupid is because you had a golden opportunity where people were in their homes needing something to do, and someone who formerly was at TT Games told me it would only take them less than 6 months to get a collection together of Lego Batman, you know, 1, 2, and 3, and that they would just use the Steam versions. And they easily put it on Switch or some of the other systems, but nope. Never happened because WB said no. And it would have been easy money for them. Oh well. This is why I don't like, you know, figure or corporate companies. I don't mind the game developers. Like, the game developers and publishers, like, their hands are tied when they're owned by a big company like Warner Brothers or Sony, you know? So, but a lot of people pitched the idea for them to do a collection. It made sense. What you're seeing here, this is what Lego Batman looks like on Steam Deck. You can see the game looks great. It could have easily been ported to the Switch or Switch 2. They still have time. They could do a collection, like... There's no reason they couldn't do a collection right now. When the new game is coming out in 2026, you know, strike while the iron's hot. As well as they can show how different the new Lego Batman game is going to be. Because I don't even think the Lego Batman website went in as much detail as that press release that I have. Let me see. I have the new Lego Batman website, too. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. NewLegoBatman.com. New Lego Batman website says stuff like... It's showing the new Batman skin right there. You have to wait for the website to open up like this. I don't like the design of the site. Let's see. What did they talk about here in the non-press release? I'm seeing here images of... That is... the new Batman costume from Matt Reeves. They're showing a GIF of him attacking some type of brute character. They're showing him drive the new Batmobile, which is, you know... They have 89 Batman suit. that they're showing on the website, attacking Joker mimes in Ace Chemicals. From Origin to Legend, Face Your Foes, showing Heath Ledger's Joker. Build Your Family, showing Commissioner Gordon. And I get some people are upset that it's Matt Reeves, Commissioner Gordon. But again, you just answered your own question. It's Matt Reeves, Commissioner Gordon. So they're taking elements from different Batman mythos. So most likely, you're not going to have different suits for Jim. It's going to be the Jim Gordon from Matt Reeves' universe because he's the recent Commissioner Gordon. So they'll just give him the role of the Commissioner Gordon from the Nolan universe. Like, he'll be the Commissioner Gordon, most likely. So, people have a problem with that. Probably look inward because he's the current Commissioner Gordon. Protect the city. Go to Arkham Asylum, Ace Chemicals, Shrek's, and Wayne Tower is what I have written here on their website. So protect Gotham City. Go to Arkham, Ace Chemicals, Shrek's, and Wayne. I'm seeing a picture of the Batman Begins Batsuit, like in footage. It happens very quickly, though. There's the tumbler. There's a Bat Cycle. They're mostly using for the footage, though, navigate, glide, grapple, and drive. They're mostly showing on their website because, again, the most recent Batman is Matt Reeves' the Batman, right? So, if you're doing branding of any type, you want to utilize the current Batman model for your promotional stuff. So while there are other Batman suits that are in this that we've confirmed, Affleck and 1939 and stuff like that, the core thing that they want to show you on their website is the most recent version of Batman, which would be Matt Reeves. Experience the city as shaped by legend, Gotham City. Build a legacy, become the hero. Master your fighting style. This is all they have about combat on the official website, so my press release went into more detail. Combine combos and steal techniques, take on Gotham City's villains, feeling extra heroic, rise to the challenge of all-new game difficulty Dark Knight mode. So even on the website, they're not telling you about how much of the Arkham combat this game has. And again, like, they consider me like a press dino. So, like, the press release I have from Warner Brothers Discovery is just what they send to all publications. It's like a meet the press type thing. And it's very different than the cool, game releases that, people get and stuff like that. It's a very boring, almost like newsletter. Master your fighting styles. Combine combos and stealth techniques to take on Gotham City's villains. Feeling extra heroic? Rise to the challenge with our all-new Dark Knight mode. Investigate clues. Take to the streets and rooftops to discover crimes, challenges, and rewards and secrets and landmarks from famous Batman locations. Gear up. Wield cutting-edge gadgets, including batarangs and the Batclaw, or just cover your foes with foam. So, showing you all kinds of stuff. Coming in 2026. And then they have the 89 Batman suit displayed at the very top of the website. That's the 89 Batman suit, where it says, coming 2026. So on the website, they only show one Nolan suit in a GIF. They show a lot of Matt Reeves' Batman, and then they have the iconic 89 Batman suit with the yellow emblem on his chest. Right there. So, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be good. It'd be awesome if there's bonus levels. I don't know. Like I said, I've written an extensive, I wouldn't say interview. Well, it's kind of like an interview. I rapid-fired a bunch of questions to people. When they get back from Gamescom, we'll see what they say. Because you know that when it comes to Batman, I do hard-hitting questions. Like, I'm one of those reporters that I'm pretty thorough. And when I'm digging for things, I do it respectfully, but also I do press things pretty hard. Like a hardcore press, basically. Nothing like, you better tell me or else type thing. Just I'm digging for information. So I have, like, written out, I think it was, like, maybe 25 quick questions. Like, just rapid fire, like, what Robin is it? What, will you use Schumacher's stuff? Like, how many Batman suits are we talking? You mentioned Affleck, like, how many other suits are we talking besides 39 and Affleck and the confirmed suits? Are we going to have more than the Arkham games, or are we going to have less than the Arkham games? How many characters will be total in the game? And somebody answered that, like, on the web already. So we know that the cast of characters is much smaller in comparison to the later LEGO games. Like, the roster of characters is comparable, if not smaller, to LEGO Batman 1. So. And the music that you're hearing from is Batman and Robin from the Super Nintendo. I did a much better job doing the music for this one. It's not skipping as much. I did use WinRAR originally for the Batman Returns soundtrack, so I probably did the Batman Returns soundtrack in, like, I want to say early 2000. The Batman soundtrack that you're hearing, did any of you guys see my Adventures of Batman and Robin review? This music is from my review. So I used newer technology, oh my gosh, probably 10 years ago to record the music for this for my review. And I didn't use all the music, when I do stuff, I do it hardcore. Like, it's like, I don't know what music I'm going to end up using in my video. So I'm like, okay, I'll just, like, record the whole soundtrack and see what works with the clips. So I literally recorded the entire soundtrack of Batman and Robin on the Super Nintendo. And that's what you're hearing now. And it's much higher quality, too. I mean, WinRAR had like an MP3 program to it. I don't remember what it was called. It was before the Napster days. It wasn't a very good recording program, I know that, but it was part of WinRAR. I just don't know what it was. And it had a Gundam skin on it. Like, you could buy, or not buy, you could find custom skins for your MP3 player or whatever. So I had a Gundam Wing skin. But this soundtrack, how I recorded this, is I lined in the audio directly from the Super Nintendo into a program, and then I recorded it as a straight, like, WAV file, not MP3. Because you can hear the quality is much better. MP3 is a lower quality, so this is a WAV quality, so it sounds much better. Why not let us unlock? Because how I've heard it from the press release and from the people that I've actually spoken to, like in text and on DMs and stuff like that, the LEGO Batman game that you'll be playing will be far different than any LEGO Batman game you've played previously, as well as different than any LEGO game you've played previously. The camera angles, the combat, they've taken a completely different approach to it. It even looks like, from the footage I've seen, the game takes place from a third-person perspective as opposed to a top-down LEGO format that we're used to. Like, you're seeing the top-down LEGO format right now in this, you know, gameplay from this old game. So, there's that. It would be, if they're focusing on a campaign story, they haven't said about how many characters can free roam. They said that it's a free roam environment, that Batman can drive the Batmobile, he can cape glide, he can use a actual glider, he can use his bat grapple to zip around, a bat cycle. It doesn't say if they're going to have like an actual open world where you can explore various characters like past LEGO games. I'm sure they will, but I don't know. They're basically combining elements of the Arkham games, which is the third-person perspective. You know, they even said free-flow combat. What else did they do? Stealth takedowns, combat integrated with gadgets, all kinds of stuff. So they were heavily inspired by the Arkham games to do a Lego, a new Lego Batman game. Which is great, because I think that the Arkham combat actually plays to Batman game's strength. Like, a lot of people love that. You incorporate stealth elements with a really fun, engaging combat system, you have a great game. And the LEGO games have never really had amazing combat. You just kind of punch things and they break. So The fact that there's going to be more options in combat is a very good thing. I like that. But I won't have hands on the game. I'll have to, you know, borrow other people's footage like most people do. Like, because people will be posting footage. And if they don't watermark it, I'm just saying, because everybody does it. There's no YouTuber that doesn't do it. Nobody asks people for permission. What they do is they'll write your channel name in the description, and they'll link to your video. That's about it. Nobody actually emails people. And I didn't even have... Watch Mojo took my footage on a couple occasions for their big viral videos about Batman. They took my Arkham footage. They took some of my... They did a top 10, and they used a lot of my... my different Batman playthroughs, because I had high-quality images. Like, high-quality whatever. I never got an email from them. I saw my name used for, like, footage from Nightwing or footage from Kwings Let's Plays, but I never received an email requesting the use of my gameplay. They just gave me credit in their, you know, little comment section or whatever. So, like, I don't know who actually goes out of their way to email and say, hey, can I use this? Because nobody does that. YouTubers don't do that. The world's not that nice. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. It's not that nice. Yeah, Lego Batman 2 kind of had takedowns, but they're really talking about, when they say stuff like that press release, you're going to see moves that you've never seen before used in a Lego game. They're talking about something completely different. I love the Two-Face rendition. That is so cool. That is very cool. I always love the Two-Face theme from Batman the Animated Series. The game version, they did a great job with it. This is not a long soundtrack, by the way. It's only about 30 minutes long. So I'll probably end up looping it. The music's not very long at all. And like I said, the reason why I'm doing a custom soundtrack is I wasn't going to make any revenue on this video, because like if I play with the Burton music, I won't get paid. So you guys have also helped out tremendously, because this stream, believe it or not, has almost 4,000 views. Which is around the equivalent of what we got for our Gamescom coverage, and that video got copyright claimed and blocked in certain countries, so like we didn't get a lot of fan support to make up for the difference. So this stream alone is going to be very good. And then hopefully tomorrow's more in-depth video, like rapid fire, just telling you, you know, some of the stuff that I researched and read and did for my my Batman video will be a lot easier for people to watch than watch this back, because this is going to be almost like probably by the time this video is over, it'll be close to 3 hours. I'm doing the entire first chapter of the original Lego Batman in this, so if you guys have any questions for me or things that you are hyped about or whatever, feel free to ask me. This is the last stream of the night. I'm not doing any other streams tonight. It's just this one. Dun, 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 dun. Whoops. But I did want to squash one thing that was misinformation. I saw somebody on Twitter saying, you're only going to interact with the villains that they said. That's not true. When the game is still a ways away, tentatively coming out spring of 2026, that's what I was told. Like, and spring of 2026 could be March, April, you know, things like that. That would make the most sense. Unless they end up, like, pushing it back. But I think they really want to go with a spring release. But anyway, there were people on Twitter and other things saying that they're only going to be Joker as villains, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, and Bane. On the press release that I read you guys, it said, and more. So the only ones that they have revealed from the press release are the ones that I told you about. We don't know how many villains are going to be in the game. I'm assuming, because a lot of it is based after the films, you'll have things like Mr. Freeze, which, again, I hope they don't do the Batman and Robin thing. Because I don't like it, and I'm sure a lot of fans, I think it would just sully the experience. I know that sounds kind of petty, but Batman and Robin is not really looked upon as a good thing. It's more of like a joke, where Batman and Robin is responsible for showing people how not to make a superhero movie. It's not something that people look on with reverence, like, oh wow, this was such... No. It was terrible in the 90s, and if you watch it today, it's terrible today. It's always going to be bad. What you could do if you, again, and I don't mind if they steal this idea or whatever they want to do, if you say that you're borrowing elements from the TV show, you need to give us animated series tribute episodes for story for Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. If you want the best versions of those characters in your game, you want the animated series versions of those characters. They are the pinnacle. They are the definitive versions of Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. You've got the sultry seductress Poison Ivy from the animated series, Femme Fatale. You've got the very, you know, distraught, broken, and vengeful Mr. Freeze from the animated series. That's the stuff people want to see. They don't want to see a movie counterpart of Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy or Bane. Like, the Bane, give us the Nolan Bane, which we're getting. Great. But don't give us the Batman and Robin Schumacher one. That's... no. If you're saying you're using elements from the TV shows, then give us an actual story-based animated series tribute to Heart of Ice and Pretty Poison. I think that's a fair thing. Yeah, I know. Animated series DLC did appear in LEGO games previously. I know. You're preaching to the choir. I've covered all the LEGO Batman games extensively for years. I've even done anniversary specials of the LEGO games. I'm known on the internet for Batman coverage. When it comes to the LEGO Batman games, when it comes to the Arkham games, I've covered them more than anybody else. I'm close to a Guinness World Record. I'm not kidding. I have a total of 10 playthroughs of Arkham Knight. In 10 years. 4 of which were erased because they were on streaming sites, but people remember them. I had a full playthrough on Twitch the day it came out. When I got partnered on Hitbox, I had a full playthrough on that. I had a full playthrough on the daily, what was it called? Daily Video, which is not there anymore because it was erased for copyright, but I had a full playthrough over there. I had a full playthrough on a website called Blip TV, which was its own thing. I don't remember who owned Blip, but that's gone. So the only existing Arkham Knight coverage now is, I believe there's 6 or 7 playthroughs on YouTube itself from me. And then I do a yearly playthrough of Arkham Origins for 6 years in a row, plus my original coverage of Arkham Origins, plus my 10-year anniversary of Arkham Origins. So even though people have me labeled as an Arkham Origins hater, I've already covered Arkham Origins more than any other YouTuber in existence. By the time I'm done with the game, and I retire on YouTube, there will probably be 10 or 11 Christmases of Arkham Origins coverage. Every Christmas for probably a decade, almost, because it's a thing I do. It is the definitive Christmas game for me. So I play it every Christmas, starting on Christmas Eve until New Year's Day. We go through the Mr. Freeze DLC, we do the whole shebang. 6 years of that. Plus my original coverage, and plus the anniversary coverage. I believe we did a 5-year and a 10-year anniversary for the game. You don't know how things are with... Well, I mean, most of the people I know at Traveler's Tales are very jaded because things didn't go well and they left the company. But they don't have anything bad to say about their previous, you know, co-workers and stuff like that. They just don't like Warner Brothers. They don't like Disney. They've wanted to make that Lego Batman remake for years. Way before it was in development in 2022. Like, they wanted to get to work on that remake. When they couldn't do Crisis on Infinite Earths, they wanted to do a new Lego Batman game. And they didn't want to use Justice League characters either. They wanted to make a new Lego Batman game that would be in the vein of, like, Lego Batman 1 and 2, but without the inclusion of Justice Leaguers. So, you know, they're very happy for their former colleagues that are still there, because it ended up happening. It's a grounded Batman game featuring, you know, Batman characters in a massive open-world Gotham City. What more do you want? It's a good thing. But I get it, you know. Old wounds, people get upset about stuff. It's understandable. If I left a company on bad terms or, you know, had some painful memories, it wouldn't be easy for me, too. And be like, yeah, I'd harbor some resentment. Obviously, that's human nature. But from what I know, they're not mad at any of their former colleagues or, you know, any of that. They don't like how business was handled with after Lego DC Supervillains and the whole Skywalker drama. And even though the game was successful, like, you know, stuff behind the scenes was not all wine and roses. But people have been saying that for years. Sometimes you can find these Traveler's Tales employees talking on Twitter, because they get grumpy or drunk from time to time. As most people do, you know, when people get fired from their job or they leave their job, they say stuff. But they're good people, I can tell you that much. Like, I've known them a long time. They're old like me, if not older. Some of them are in their 50s or 60s, so they're pretty old. Some of them are my age. Which is, you know, dinosaur age. Skywalker Saga was good, behind the scenes was not. The Lego Batman thing went smoother and development-wise? I don't know. I haven't met any of the new people. If I was at Gamescom, I would be introduced to some of the new people at Traveler's Tales. Some of the people that stayed, they had different positions that were not in leadership. When I knew, like, a good, like, 10 of Traveler's Tales employees. Because you have to remember, I used to get all kinds of fun stuff. Like, I would get, like, gift packages from Traveler's Tales. I have a statue of Lego Batman that you can't buy that was given to me for my coverage of Lego Batman 2. I had New York City cupcakes made for me by Traveler's Tales for my coverage of Lego Batman 2 on Wii U. Because they thought it was going to be a problem for me to relook at Lego Batman, so they sent me and my wife, because we had already done Lego Batman 2, and, you know, back then it was kind of like, who can we get to cover the game again? So they called me on the phone, they said, hey, we're sending you a copy of Lego Batman 2 for Wii U, and it's in a big box. Don't tell us where you're going to be home, because, you know, these are perishable items. And I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, we're getting you, like, those really nice cupcakes from New York City. And I'm like, no way. And they said, yeah, but you need to be home, because if you leave those things outside, they're going to go bad. They're like, you are home. It's like, yeah, I'm home. They said, okay. Because I lived in Boston back then. So the thing pulls up, and, you know, they drop off the cupcakes, which were beautiful cupcakes, based on Lego Batman 2. And they had the game, and they gave us, like, a little statue for Lego Batman, or whatever. It's beautiful. So I had a pretty long, healthy relationship with Traveler's Tales. When I got kicked out of the Warner Brothers influencer program in 2015, Traveler's Tales thought it was stupid, and they still worked with me, regardless of how Warner Brothers felt. So I had people looking out for me, like, at that company, so I'll always remember Traveler's Tales with nothing but, like, respect. 'Cause they're good people. I don't know the new people, though, because they weren't in positions of authority. They worked at the company, or some of them came in during development of Lego Batman 2 and 3. Or, like, the end of, some of them were there at the end of the development of Lego Batman 2. And some of them came into the development of Lego Batman, what do you call it? Lego Batman 3 and Lego DC Supervillains, whatever. So, it's a different thing, you know? You have to remember that in the game industry, it's very rare to stay at a company for longer than 10 years. Like, usually, you'll be at a company for 5-6 years, and then you'll go to another part of the game industry. I know very few people that have maintained their same position or, like, worked at the same company for longer than 10 years. Very few. And it's nothing bad. It's like, sometimes you don't get promoted at the company that you work at, and they give you a better offer at another company, so you know, you leave that job and you go to a different one. You're still in the game industry, you have a different role now that you couldn't get at your previous job. But that happens a lot. Yeah, we're gonna play that again, because I was... No, not that. I don't want to do Batman Returns. Batman Returns skips a lot. This is perfect. This is perfection. I like this. Da-da-da-da-da. Whoop, whoop. Case in point, some people know me that I was a game journalist from 2004 until 2014. Some of the companies that I worked for that still exist, some publications are long gone because, you know, stuff happens. Okay, so that is a fire suit, so I can do that. They don't have the same positions anymore. Like, they were lowly editors or writers, and then they went to another publication and they got a higher paying job. You know, they became like the editor-in-chief or something of a publication. Or a couple people I knew that were fellow writers, they ended up becoming actual writers in the game industry. Or they ended up becoming community managers for like a big like game company like Sega or not Ubisoft. Sega, Capcom, and what was that other one? Konami. And they were game journalists at one point. You know, they wrote game reviews, but then they ended up becoming community managers for actual game companies during the rise of like a lot of community jobs, like community member jobs as early as like 2013, I think, 2012. But they started as actual press, but they found their dream job was to go into, you know, actual game development or to work for a game publisher. That's what I wanted too. When I became a game journalist in 2004, my end goal was not to always be a game journalist. I wanted to become someone who did voiceovers in video games or, you know, worked at a game company. There were a lot of companies in New York City that had different types of positions that I was trying to work my way toward. There aren't that many game companies left in New York City, though. Although a lot of them are moving to Atlanta and stuff now, too, because Atlanta's like the new Hollywood. But California isn't as big as it used to be with game development because E3 is no longer there. E3 is gone, so a lot of game studios have basically been moving their stuff out of California because of how expensive it is. And they've been moving closer to places where there's things like PAX and New York Comic Con and other things. Because we don't really have a big game thing anymore. You have the Game Developer Conference, GDC, but GDC was never a big draw for people anyway. Not usually. But back then, yeah, I wanted to do a lot in the game industry. That never happened. No one was expecting YouTube to become this big thing. YouTube is the longest job I've ever had. 18 years. I've been a YouTube partner. That's insane. Out of the 20 years that YouTube's existed, I've been a paid partner for 18 years. I've been able to move across the country several times because of my YouTube job. I've been able to go to E3 like 8 or 9 times. PAX like a dozen times. New York Comic Con a few times. All that stuff. And it wouldn't have been possible without YouTube. YouTube doesn't pay anywhere what it used to, but I've still been a paid partner, and I say I'm still somewhat successful. We're just have a hiccup with the transition from a bad YouTube company that's under investigation called Nagato, who stole 2 months of pay from us, and unfortunately we lost 115 members on this channel because people weren't happy that that company stole money. And we didn't get paid for it. So they were like super chatters. They were big time super chatters and used to give us hundreds of dollars. And they were ultimates and they were, you know, all this stuff on the channel. And they have a right to be upset because, you know, if the money's not going where it's supposed to, if I was a donator, I'd be upset too. But the thing is, I didn't have any control over that company stealing money. They stole from 250 YouTubers from around the world for 3 months. And people have only been paid from YouTube from May from that company. So a lot of us had to go to new companies. But these people, even though I'm with a new company now over in Portugal or whatever, and I have been paid for the time I've joined them, these people still haven't come back and been members because they're mad that they're out a few $100 or they're out $100 or $5 or whatever. So they blame me for it. They blame me and Amber when it's not our fault. I actually did everything I could and told them, hey, if you go talk to Google, you might be able to get a refund or something like that. I would get a charge back, but I told them about it. And they just copped attitude with me and they left. So I, you know, didn't appreciate that. Especially when I needed those people to stick around and I was nothing but cordial with them for years. So that was annoying. Oh well. There's not much I can do about it, you know? So it's going to take me months to build up the memberships that we used to have. We had 350 members. Now we only have 203. So we're in very bad shape on this channel. Because I'll tell you a secret, no YouTuber can survive without super chats and memberships anymore. You don't get enough ad revenue. You would have to, every single video you release would have to get like 20 to 30,000 views a video in order to make anything close to what you would need daily. And that'd have to be daily. If you're only getting that like once a week or something like that, you're hosed. You would have to get daily uploads of like 30, 25, 30K, something like that. And then you could do this as a living without fan support. But you can't do it without fan support. That's just how it is. That's the complete sign. Okay, that... I have to suck up all this stuff, and then that's how we open the door. I believe. Speaking of Pretty Poison, here is the music from Batman the Animated Series, the game, on Super Nintendo, with a beautiful arrangement of Pretty Poison. From the level was hard though because you could only throw batarangs at people. This is a weird thing, okay? This is what 90s censorship was. The Parents Rating Board, which later became known as the ESRB, the Entertainment's Rating Board, they told the Konami people working on the game, it's not okay for you to use violence against women, so you can't punch any women in the Batman game. So what do you think they have you do in the game when you're dealing with Poison Ivy and her female thugs? What did you think was the solution? How did Batman dispatch of the girls? If you said throw a metal batarang at their face, you would be correct. So it was less violent in the video game for Batman to throw his metal pointy batarang into the face of the Poison Ivy girls and Poison Ivy herself than to throw a punch. Oh my gosh. Oh, the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. That's rational. That makes sense. They're fine. They're tough girls. They can take a batarang to the face. What? Batman is an equal opportunity crime fighter. That's right. He is. We have to feed this so we can exit. Alright, I need some more stuff. Hello. What's left for me to get? Is there any more? There's gotta be more. This can't be all. Alright, so we have to go investigate. I'm missing some stuff. I won't be able to exit the level without 4 more pieces. Bah. Again, unless they said in an interview directly, did you hear them say in a video interview that Lego Batman Dark Dark Knight Legacy will only have 7 playable characters? Or did you get that from the press release? Because the press release has said they're only revealing 7 playable characters right now. And they only revealed like 7 villains or something like that. The Warner Brothers Discovery press release that I have says that these are the amount of villains that are announced for now. There will be more villains. Those are the ones that they wanted to talk about at Gamescom, though, and at the press release that they released the same time as the trailer. But even if there is only 7 playable characters, there weren't that many playable characters in the Arkham games anyway. This is a completely different type of Lego game. You can see it by the gameplay. It's not like the Lego game that I'm playing. It's not going to be like that. Not at all. I think I might have messed up. I might have to redo this level, which I don't want to. Ah! Because we have to find missing pieces. We're almost at the end of the Poison Ivy level. Like right now. But I need more of those stupid pieces so that Robin can whoa. I might have messed up, though. I don't know. I hope there's some back here. It looks like I put them all in that stupid machine, which is very bad. There's nothing up here. So if I would have left some stuff behind, it probably would have been better. Oh, never mind. We're good. Suck those up, fool. That should be the 4 I need. Bingo! Now we can end the level. See, Super Nintendo had great music. Yeah, they're saying 7 playable characters right now. Because the combat and the style of gameplay is different than any other Lego game that's ever been made by Traveler's Tales. You've never seen a Lego game like this. Because it's campaign-based. Like, they've actually made a campaign that incorporates elements of Batman movies, TV, comics, and video games into one game. Like, this is a revolutionary thing that I didn't even think Traveler's Tales could do, but only Traveler's Tales could attempt this. Because they're going to make it work. Even though it's a completely different way of doing Lego games, it's going to work. Traveler's Tales is one of the best game developers that I've personally known for a long time. They're not only the good people, they're talented people. Okay? And you have to remember, I've been covering Lego games since 2008. Technically before that. Because I did write-ups for most of the Lego games before Lego Batman. So I've been working, I wouldn't say working with Traveler's Tales, but I knew their PR person back in the day, too. When I was working for that trade publication and I was a writer. How are we supposed to get past this? Oh, right, we have to build something. Yeah. When in doubt, build. And it's not like they won't have building stuff in the Lego Batman game. They've already shown that there's building elements. It's going to have Lego elements. It's just they're changing how things are done. That's all. In order for your company to evolve, you got to change it up a little bit sometimes. It's the only way. That didn't work. I love the Catwoman theme. Oh! What are we building here? Oh. Is that open? Yeah, it's done. I don't know. It's not a single-player game. It's multiplayer. The new Lego Batman is multiplayer. 2-player. I don't know how it's gonna work, but it is 2-player. Lego games are always 2-player. I didn't think it was 2-player either, and then I read my press release. I'll read it again to you, because this is what it says to me. This is what it says to me. It spoke to me. It's in the room with me. I just don't like how wordy this is. Where is it? Was it the section about talking about punching, combo chains, counters, over-the-top takedowns, fluid, blah, 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 villains, campaign-led story, players will build, blah, 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 known characters, where did it say multiplayer? It's here in all this, like, word gerbil. It's just... This is a very messy newsletter. Robin's line launcher... Ah! Here it is. Okay. With a dynamic new LEGO Batman combat system that encapsulates the Cape Crusaders' distinctive fighting style, every hit packs a punch, fluid combat chains, counters, over-the-top takedowns. Whether playing as Batman solo or in a 2-player local cooperative mode, players can use iconic Batman gadgets such as batarangs to distract and stun enemies, Batclaw to reel them in. Partner characters have their own signature gear, including Jim Gordon's foam sprayer, Robin's line launcher, and Catwoman's whip, providing a variety of options to approach every enemy encounter and boss battles. For those of you looking for a tougher Batman experience, try our new LEGO... try our new Dark Knight difficulty level, which will really up the ante of the game. So there you go. Again, it says it is 2-player. They don't say how it's 2-player because the whole new... It's not a top-down screen anymore. It's a completely different, like screen mechanic. So if there are people on Twitter saying that it's a solo game only, it's not solo. It is 2-player. Multiplayer. It says cooperative mode. There is a cooperative mode. So there's a single-player campaign and there's a cooperative mode. What that means, I don't know. Well, I only know what the press release said. Dun, 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 Ba-bam, ba-bam. Alright, Poison Ivy. Come out and play. And then what's next is Riddler and Two-Face, and that's the end, right? Yeah, should be. There's only 5 levels. Is there 5 or 6 levels? I don't remember. So, I mean, there were throws and stuff you could do in the original LEGO Batman, but I wouldn't really count it as a takedown. How dare you punch a woman? Surprise! Batarang to the face. I don't know how they'll do couch stealth. I don't know. These are questions that I don't know. Like I said, I wrote extensively asking for stuff from a bunch of people. When they get back to me, you'll be the first to know. Like, just come back to the channel, see what's going on. Maybe I'll have to do an update stream or something like that, playing the next chapter of this game. I don't know. We almost unlocked all the suits. We have unlocked all the suits. No, Robin has one more. Can you guys hear the custom soundtrack at all, or no? Can I answer your question? What's your question? I already answered your question. I don't know about... Like I said, the Lego license is not owned by Warner Brothers anymore. They sold it. It's a miracle that they're even able to make a new Lego Batman game as, you know. But maybe the Lego Batman game, because it was in development when the license was still up in the air, I don't know. I'm assuming, based on the fact that they're releasing this game, that Warner Brothers is going to want them to continue to make Lego Batman or Lego WB games. Because Traveler's Tales is owned by WB. They're not a free agent company. Traveler's Tales got owned by Warner Brothers. I believe they bought them right around the time of the first Lego Batman. They used to be an independent company. But 2K Games and the Lego Group are the ones that own the rights to Lego video games. And the Lego Group last year made an announcement that they would start to make Lego games in-house for the first time in the company's history. Whereas before they used to outsource it. So I don't know what that means. You know, the fact that the Lego Group is on that... The Lego Group guy is on the press release that I have, talking about how, like, he's thrilled to partner with Traveler's Tales again, and WB and their partners and stuff like that. It would probably make sense that Warner Brothers would only have Warner Brothers Lego games made, like Harry Potter and Batman going forward, or Justice League. Who knows? If they'll make another... I doubt they'll make another Star Wars game. I don't see Traveler's Tales doing that again. I could be wrong, but I mean, it was not good. Not that the game was bad. It wasn't good to work on it. It was they lost a lot of good people who were there since Lego Batman 1 quit the company during development of that game and finalization of that game. One concept artist who was at Traveler's Tales back with Lego Batman 1, he's a very outspoken individual. He used to have a Twitter. I don't know if he's on Blue Sky now or where, but he used to, every once in a while, he would have a picture of, like, some rum, and then he would go off and he would say stuff because he was mad. So I haven't talked to the guy in years, though. He was fun. He made Amber and I as concept art for a Lego Batman game or something like that. I have it somewhere. So he reimagined what Amber and I would look like in a Lego game. I was like, oh, that was cool. So I have that. I think it was during... He gave it to me during Lego Batman 3 or Lego DC Supervillains. I don't remember. But all you have to know is a lot of hurt feelings from the Star Wars thing. So. Game developers are people too. How the heck do I get over there? Do I need a new suit? No. Nice outfit. If Joker doesn't say nice outfit in the game, it's a missed opportunity. Robin needs his tech suit in order to get in there. Oh, okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on with Lego Ninjago. Doesn't WB own that? Is Lego Ninjago a WB property? I heard it's not popular anymore as much. Batman will always be popular. It's Batman. They Should make another Lord of the Rings game? I mean, it's a WB game, so they probably could. They've already made Lego games based on The Hobbit and other stuff. Here. The only Batman game where you can use a Batarang to block bullets. Did you know you could do that? Why are you throwing the Batarang backwards? Robin, you idiot. My god. You can actually hold in your Batarang and deflect bullets, but it doesn't work very well. They're like, yeah, Batman could totally do that. It's like, probably. Robin's not very good at it, though. This is the last level I'm doing, by the way. So, like, my stream is going to be coming to an end after we finish this, because I'm only doing the Riddler chapter. Otherwise, my video won't get made. I need to make that video for noon. Strike while the iron's hot. I'm gonna teach you guys a secret about YouTube content creation. When something happens, you need to make a video on it as soon as possible within the first 24 hours. If you do not, you're gonna lose out on so many potential customers, as well as you are going to miss out on ad revenue and people searching for information. If you sleep on it, you're gonna pay for it. So even though my health is not in the best shape these days, I have problems with my heart now a little bit. I was hospitalized for it twice in the past, I don't know, like month or so. Because, again, was dealing with a lot of stress. We lost 115 members. We had a company steal 10 grand. We had so many things happen that I couldn't hold it together. So I had problems. Amber doesn't like me being up late at night anymore. So she gets on my case about it. So this is the first time that will actually be working all night long in the past 2 months to make a video. So you guys better watch it tomorrow. I'm literally putting my health on the line. So watch the video. Now I gotta get the truck. Gotta get the truck again. Whee. And it's like a way station. There it is, it's open now. Whoop. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, we're gonna need to get Robin's annoying suit. Actually, he has 2 suits in this one. He has his, What? Is that not broken? Why is it not broken? Weird. Can I run it over? Batman ending credits. Oh, if you want a challenging level, play Batman the Animated Series The Gauntlet. You fight a series of Batman villains, like almost like a boss rush mode, and it's incredibly hard. Clayface is a pretty difficult boss. Penguin's annoying, but Joker with the I think you fight Man-Bat too. You fight like 4 villains and then Joker on the jetpack from Mask of the Phantasm. Very challenging boss fight. You're gonna restart and beat all of Lego Batman 2 in 5 hours? Wow. It's taken me 2 hours and 50 minutes just to get through the first chapter of Lego Batman 1. That's dedication. And the Lego Batman 2 game is way longer than Lego Batman 1. Ah! Lasers. Da, da, da. It's a bank. Get it? Giant money sign. Now I believe we just drive it over the money thing. No? Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be Robin's... What suit is this? Magnet suit. I still think it's incredibly annoying that poor Traveler's Tales was never able to get the green light for their Lego Batman collection. I would have bought that thing in a heartbeat. You kidding me? Probably would have bought that on multiple systems. Digital and physical. Oh well. And I am playing on Steam, so that means I had to rebuy Lego Batman 1 and 2. I don't like Lego Batman 3 though, but I would buy a collection just for Lego Batman 1 and 2, even if the third game's on there. The third game was okay, but it was a vast departure from the other two games. I like the Konami sound, so that's why I have it. It brings back memories. A lot of us 90s kids played tons of Konami games. Konami was a very good company in the 90s. They're okay now, but they're not as legendary as they used to be. It's true. They had the Batman license. They did a great job with it. Da, 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 da. Why are you nowhere? Oh, we need Batman here too. Bruce, get up here. That's right, sometimes the NPC doesn't actually do what you tell them to do. This is the early Lego Batman game, so mistakes happen. Okay, so we're getting near the end now. Beat up Two-Face first, then get to Riddler, and then that's the end of the chapter. And then that's the end of the stream. Huzzah! I did stream the Super Nintendo Batman game, but I don't think I beat it. I'm pretty sure the Gauntlet kicked my butt. Do you guys remember? Did I ever do a stream series of that? I beat it for my review, but it took me hours to beat the Gauntlet. And I had to use a password to get there. Clayface is no joke. Penguin's super annoying. I don't even think they give you a lot of health in that level either. I don't believe so. And the Joker boss is just super annoying with his annoying jetpack. If WB is listening, I would love for... Well, it's too late now. This is why I don't like WB either. we did get an Arkham Batman game, but we never got a, like, 30th anniversary or a 20th anniversary Batman the Animated Series, the game. Oh. Back when there were so many surviving, like, animated series alumni, too. So many missed opportunities. Marvel would have done it. Marvel, like... Actually, Marvel did do it. Marvel had several games with their X-Men cast from the 90s. They were fighting games, but... There was only a handful of, not even a handful. It's a couple 90s, Batman animated series games, but not all of them were good. They were okay. This game was great. Batman the Animated Series on the Super Nintendo was great. Hard, but great. It felt like you were, you know, playing a 2D version of the show. And then the Genesis did something completely different, and they did a Gunstar Heroes Batman experience. Which wasn't bad, it was Gunstar Heroes. If you like Gunstar Heroes, you probably like the game. But it was a very intense Gunstar Heroes clone. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people don't like the animated series game on the Super Nintendo because they don't like how slow it is compared to the Genesis one. But the Genesis is a running and gunning game. The Super Nintendo is an action-adventure game. So they're completely different. You can't say a running and gunning Gunstar Heroes game. It's an action-adventure game. It's not. It's Gunstar Heroes. It's a shoot-'em-up. Or running and shooting. Not the same. Games have different genres, you know? Don't make me slap you. I will slap you, Harvey. I will slap you. Oh. We gotta get Batman back here. Yeah, this is the end of the stream after I beat Two-Face and Riddler, yeah. It's a perfect bookend, and, you know, maybe I'll do a follow-up video, or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. It is incredibly hard to get our own subscribers to watch our content. You have no idea. Like, we're shadow banned. We have to pay a monthly newsletter $100 to even, like, get, like, a couple hundred people a day in our live streams. And we stream, like, 4 or 5 times a day. This stream did really well. I'd be surprised if it didn't. I advertised it on my Twitter, and I advertised it on our Let's Play Twitter, I think. Wait, maybe I didn't. I don't remember if I did, actually. I don't know. I'm in such a Batman mode right now. I have my... I think I did ad-lib. I don't even think I did a script. I'm probably going to listen to my voiceover again while I eat dinner. I'm going to make myself a sandwich or something. And then I'll see if my voiceover is good enough to start editing clips to it. I'm probably going to use gameplay from the stream, so once YouTube is done finalizing the stream, I'll download the high-definition version of it. And I'll just mute my voice so I don't have to hear it, and then I'll put music over top of it. Probably going to use this soundtrack, because I like this soundtrack a lot. I think it works. And I'll probably replay the trailer a couple times, take some still images. You know what I do when I make my videos. I make high-quality uploads when I do get around to making uploads. But you have to remember, as a streamer, I'm a full-time streamer, so it's almost impossible to shift gears back from, you know, hey, I did an 11-hour live stream. I have all this time to throw together a video. It doesn't work like that every night. Like, I'm going to be pumping myself full of caffeine and food and stuff in order to do this so I can have the video ready by noon. Which Amber's like, oh no. But, you know, I'm hyped and my mind is so focused on it. And also the potential... The last time I did a LEGO Batman 4 video, it did really well. It didn't go viral, but it did... Oh, by getting the video up by noon? It's only a 15-minute video. My health is going to be fine. Yes, really. My income is hurting, honey. I have no choice. Everything's going to be fine. How are we gonna get Batman over here? Oh, he needs to be on the boat. Well, that's dumb. Can I just glide over to where he is? Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, might be able to pull this off. There we go. See how the AI doesn't always move the other character, though? Sometimes the AI doesn't actually move your character, so... Whoops. That's just something you had to deal with in these older LEGO games. Sometimes you're at the mercy of the game not, you know, doing what it's supposed to. Ooh, I love the museum level. So in this level that's in the music right now, Batman and Robin are investigating a museum heist. And it's kind of like a maze. You have to go floor to floor looking for different things using security cards. And eventually, you find the bad guy, which I believe is the Penguin. And then the level ends with an epic rooftop battle between the Penguin and Batman. And the Penguin is using a machine gun, a Tommy gun. And you can, like, walk up to him and throw him. Or you can try to, you know, whatever. And then eventually he brings out his propeller. Like his umbrella propeller. Yeah! I'm not too good at this. I'm not too good at this! Well, this game looks great on Steam, doesn't it? Whoa. I don't know what my graphical settings are with my Steam Deck, but this looks much better than it did on PS3. Way better. Beat him up, beat him up, beat him up. Why are you running, Harvey? Ooh, fitting music. Dun, 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 dun. So the music now is Robin has been taken captive, and Batman has to find him in a museum. And all the bad guys that you beat up have now respawned. Oh no. You're gonna run away like a coward, Harvey? Go cry to your mama. Honey, I'm not gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna stay hydrated, and I'm gonna work. What the heck? Also, when I get really excited about making a project, I do really well. Okay, sweetie. No, I don't think it'll take all night. Might be able to get back to that boss. I don't think so, though. This custom soundtrack thing works so well. Mainly for nostalgia purposes, though. For me, most of you guys didn't grow up with this game. Like that game. This is the Penguin boss battle. Come on, We're almost there. Oh, come on, game. Give it to me. Sure. Oh, nope. I think we'll do it. Nope, that's locked. Never mind. Now we're in the Catwoman levels. Now, the Catwoman level for the Super Nintendo was really interesting because it had Batman chasing Catwoman after she committed a crime, and they're jumping on rooftops. The back grapple didn't work very well back on the Super Nintendo, but it was still a pretty awesome level because there was spotlights that were going in the level, and they were following Catwoman and Batman as they ran from rooftop to rooftop. It had a very artistic look to the level. Very awesome. I thought he summoned a giant Riddler robot. Did he not? I must be remembering this wrong. Wait, 65,000 is what the thing was? Bad guys don't drop coins when you beat them. Darn. Oh, I'm so close to getting a good score, but oh well. He uses his cane to block stuff. Where are you running? Oh wait, nope, they do give some coins. Not a lot, but they give some. Especially if you do a takedown move. Catwoman and Batman fight at the end of the level. She's like, but Mom, it's only 2 o'clock. Okay. Come back here. Yeah, I'm not gonna get... What? No! Mr. Kung Fu Riddler. Batmobile level. Wow, you needed 65,000 in order to get gold status. That's a bummer. Oh wells. Defeated. I love his deadpan. He's like, why are you like this? Why are you like this? Yeah, I've got a couple super chats on the screen, honey. I'll read them at the end. Thank you for letting me know, though. Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, and Riddler all locked up. All in a day's work for the Dark Knight and Robin. And there you go. So it does feel like I actually did complete it, but there's so much more to do in the game, but like I said, I was just doing the first chapter. And it's a fantastic game, so... The custom soundtrack was a success. Maybe I'll do this again. But again, it has to do with the timing was perfect because of the Lego Batman thing. We talked extensively about the press release. We read some of your super chats and discussed, you know, what you guys wanted to see and things like that. And tomorrow at noon, guys, make sure you watch the new video. Thank you to Princess Emmy, Granddaddy Otaku, Prestigious Spider Star for becoming a member, Brick Lego for the super chat. Who else we did? Joel for the super chat. I hope we get a BTS and Batman Arkham bat suits in the new game, considering they're giving us an Arkham-style Lego game with free flow combat system and explosive gel. I really pray that those are some surprise. Yeah. Any Arkham story elements or just gameplay? And we already answered that. Thank you for the super chat. Mitchell R. I meant public reception between these two games. Which Lego Batman 4 Steve Bloom displayed Lego Batman, Joker, and Two-Face in the first Lego Batman game from 2008? He played the Grunts? I didn't know that. I thought Troy Baker played the Lego Batman Grunts. Our cereal. This game is still one of the best Batman games. I also very much agree with the voice. Why not use Troy Baker? Yeah. So, I mean, pretty much everybody's in the same agreement, like, with Lego Batman. We don't like the voice, but the game looks phenomenal, so. I knew some of those people. Hey! Like I said, good group of people. Really enjoyed making games. Am I gonna play the new Lego Batman game on release day? I'll play it a day before release. What are you talking about? Yeah. Probably get it on PlayStation. If I'm doing it early, it'll be on PlayStation. If I'm doing it on release, it'll be Switch 2. It's easier for my contacts to get me on PS5, PS4 than it is Switch. Switch is annoying. Or Switch 2. Yeah, Switch 2 is kind of a pain. I don't think we've gotten any early coverage on Switch 2. I don't believe so. He was an okay Batman. He still sounds better than the guy they had in the new trailer. That's the only thing I don't like about the new trailer is I don't like the guy's voice. I know why they're doing it, because Robert Pattinson is the current, like, you know, film Batman. Just like if Affleck was still the main Batman, he would be the Batman that they showcased in the trailer. And they would probably mold his voice after that. But I don't like Robert Pattinson's Batman voice because he doesn't have a Batman voice. He has a Bat Whisper. If you're going to use a Batman voice for a Lego character, it should be Keaton's voice. It should be Nolan, or it should have been like Troy Baker. Or Bruce Greenwood, or something like that. But anyway, guys and gals, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have a wonderful night. I'm out of here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for helping the stream get over 4,000 views. And your streams will continue tomorrow at like 4 o'clock, as well as more Gamescom. Okay? Bye-bye.